Welcome to the Belty Hour with Maxwell Star and Red Bean. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? We are drinking. I'm drinking non-alcoholic Radler. No,
what?
I'm drinking this piece of shit. Actually, I'm drinking both. I should cuvee them.
Cuvée
might make the non-alcoholic Radler might make this shit taste better, but. All right, what's everybody else drinking? We'll start with red beer. What are you drinking, sir?
I'm finishing up a can of Wave Pale Ale. Wave.
Who's that by?
Wave.
It is by Signal.
Wave.
They are out of Corbyville, Ontario. I have no idea where Corbyville is.
No, I don't think anyone does.
It's actually pretty tasty, though. It's like just a nice, hazy, juicy pale ale. 6.1%. I'm not sure actually would know this. What differentiates what I'm drinking right now from an India Pale Ale?
The bitterness.
Is that what it would be? Yeah.
Yeah. Pale ales will generally be between about 20 to 30 some odd IBUs, and then IPAs are usually like 40 plus IBUs.
So, but a lot of the New England style IPAs coming out right now are not.
I know we've had. I think we had a pretty drunken discussion about this a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the legitimacy of calling those IPAs, but really they're not. I mean, they are, but they aren't. You know, there's no bitterness, but there's a lot of hops. So people just associate quantity of hops.
Well, the overall brewing process is basically the same as making an IPA, but you're just dry hopping and fucking.
Exactly. You know, if I was making a pale ale and an IPA, the hop additions are very similar. It's just the quantities added at different.
It was funny when I was at New Ontario the other day talking with their brewer, and he's like, he hates the term double dry hopped because he's like, if you're dry hopping a beer, it should always be double dry hop. That's just the way you should do it all the time. It should never just be like one hop addition. You should always. And yeah, just a funny kind of brewer's point of view on it was just kind of funny, I guess.
There's been
This is pretty fucking tasty though. This is a solid beer.
So now that we spent 20 minutes talking about what red beer is drinking, what are you drinking, Greg?
I am having a Knucklebone IPA, which is by. Well, realistically, it's brewed by Cameron's Brewing, but it's by Skeleton Crew Brewing Company. I'm not sure if they're just contract brewed by Cameron's or if they're owned by them. And I was actually kind of curious because this is actually a very good. You can get a very good deal on this. I think it's like $50 for a 2-4 of this, and it's a 6.20% IPA, so good price. That being said, I don't like it enough that I'd want to buy 24 of them. I'd rather spend the extra $10 and get 24 Bone Shaker from Amsterdam.
When you think about it, sure, I think maybe it's because you wouldn't want to make that kind of commitment to a beer to try to buy 24 of it. But
you know what? With the beer,
it's like $2 a beer.
You know what? There's some beers I do buy 24 of. For instance, I've bought 24 of Bone Shaker, about 24 of Space Invader. They're all IPAs that they don't need to be drank super fresh. They're good for a few months, and I know I like them, so they're good to go. This one is not bad. But I mean, like I say, if I'm $10 away from a case of Bone Shaker, I'd rather just spend the extra $10.
I honestly wonder what the difference is between that Knucklebone or whatever the hell it is and the Cameron's Jurassic IPA.
I actually think they're pretty similar.
They're probably
you want to know what the difference is? They put them in different cans.
Yeah.
So what's it called? Skeleton Crew?
Skeleton Crew. No, actually, because it's funny because I tried Jurassic and Knucklebone a while back. And to me, they tasted pretty similar. I'd have to retaste them, but yeah, from what I remember, they tasted pretty similar.
Well, that Skeleton Crew only makes that Knucklebone beer and then a session version of that same beer.
That's one in my fridge too, so I might go for that next.
And they're both drinkable, but just really nothing special at all.
Pedestrian.
Yeah,
they're not particularly exciting. Whereas, I mean, even something like you'd probably argue that Bone Shaker is pretty pedestrian nowadays. I still get excited every time I crack open a Bone Shaker. I'm like, this is kind of a little bit of an exciting beer.
Dude, I drank 2 of those the other night when I was watching my Metallica Monday and I was folding laundry, and it was the perfect beer for the situation.
It is a really nice, like, it's one of those beers that, yes, this is readily available. It's no longer special because, it's all over the place, but it's still really good.
It's called Bone Shaker, metal beer.
What was the beer you said Cameron's tasted similar to Cameron's?
Jurassic IPA.
It could very well be, because it looks like all that Skeleton Crew Brewing is an offshoot brand of Cameron's. It's not
That's what I think they are, yeah.
We all know this, Nick. We all know
all
that.
right, we'll find it pulling in Ethan then. Shut up.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it could just be that they've spun this shit off. That's all it is.
I reviewed, I think, the Knucklebone or something like that, and I literally looking at the website and the address on it, whatever. I was like, I've seen that address before. And it was like, you go to Cameron's, and it's the exact same address as Cameron's. It's like, yeah. And
you know what? I hate to fucking agree with Ewart on anything, but I remember Ewart once said Cameron's is probably the most boring brewery in Ontario, and I kind of agree with him. Whereas, they're not a bad brewery. They don't really make bad beer per se, but they don't make anything exciting. I mean, it's just kind of like Black Oak, although Black Oak at least has a few products that excite me, even though they're sort of their regular products. Cameron's, they just have their regular shit. It sells. It keeps them in business.
But they don't change.
Find them so boring. Yeah, they don't change. They don't really take. There was a time where they were kind of releasing a few interesting experimental beers, and that doesn't really happen anymore.
They used to have their 4-pack that they release twice a year, something like that. And it would always have a couple of interesting beers in it. But they're the most interesting thing I can think of that I had by them. It was a while ago now. Was that where the Buffalo Roam or some shit? The barley wine they made.
The barley wine, yeah. I mean that was a really good product.
It was a solid barley wine. That was back before I could really even handle them. I remember having that can and being like, this is not bad. It was like an $8 can of beer, but it was decent.
Yeah, I remember that. When they used to sell it in the LCBO. I don't think they did this past year, because I remember Europe wanted one and I couldn't.
I haven't seen it in at least 2 years, maybe 3 years.
But they would sell it in a little cardboard box for the can.
Yep.
But I think in that their most recent 4-pack that they offered, and it may have even just been this past winter, in it they had their dry hopped lager, their red amber, whatever. But they also had, I think it was a brown IPA or something like that. It was weird. It was what they call it, dark and sticky, or I don't know. It had a weird name to it, but it was a brown IPA.
Dank?
No, it wasn't dank.
Their India Pale. They made an India Pale lager that was actually surprisingly tasty.
That's their Captain's Log.
No, that's their Half Mile. Captain's Log is the cream. I think Captain's Log is a cream ale. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, sure.
You know what? Last night, actually, after we finished our shift, me and my buddy, the guy I work with, is a Bud Light, Coors Light macro guy.
Yeah.
And I got him to get a can of the cream ale from Whiskey Jack. It's called Cold Front. And he thoroughly enjoyed it. Made me happy.
Nice. Cream ales are a good gateway.
Yeah, there was nothing else like the one LCB. The biggest LCBO in town has the worst craft beer selection here. It's so dumb. The smallest LCBO, best craft beer selection. Just the people running it are dumb.
I'm trying to find that.
We all can't be.
Trying to find that damn beer. No, it's gonna bother me now. Shit.
Actually, I think I asked you. Is it your kid? Do you play Minecraft at all, or just your kids play Minecraft?
Just my kids.
No, okay.
Actually, doesn't play that childish stuff, Redbeard.
No, I you know what? I honestly tried to play Minecraft with them and stuff like that. Now,
Buff.
Right. Exactly what I was thinking. What type of game modes are you playing though?
Oh, we play the survival mode. So it's
have you played any of the 3v3 stuff
I haven't done that, but I know of that stuff. There's Hunger Games versions of it and stuff.
My kids have mostly been playing that, when they do play Minecraft now, where they have to You know.
Nice. Well, me and my buddy Chad, we have like it's a realm. It's called, so like it's always online.
Oh yeah.
And like we're in it, and then I got Guy is also in there. Chris is in there, and Lady Lee, is also in there. And like Lee and Chris and Guy just joined this week, and the amount of new construction that's happened in like our little world kind of area that we're building.
Yeah.
Is that fucking Chad? He must have spent fucking like 6 hours on this thing. He built this like underwater fucking observatory thing. Made of all glass. It's fucking incredible. And then like lit it all up with these like sea fucking light things, and it looks it's I'm so proud. Like it's a weird thing to be proud of, but I'm so proud of this like
did you cry a little bit?
World that we've created, man.
Did you have like a single tear and then like a snot bubble?
I welled up a bit, but I suppressed it. I held it back.
And yes, I was right. That beer was called the Dark and Sticky India Brown Ale.
Nice. I feel like I've had that.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't.
Well, I can sleep well now. I know I'm not going crazy. Radar, what are you drinking?
Fax
10?
Fax Premium Ale. It's the one of the beers I bought last week. That's the only one I got left.
Fax 10.
Radar, you have Minecraft?
No, and I won't. I have played it before, but I don't like it. It's not my favorite.
What version are you guys playing? Are you guys playing
the bed, like the Windows Bedrock version?
Oh, the Windows.
Yeah. Like, when did you play it, Radar? Just out of curiosity.
6 years ago. I think Guy was like, "Oh, you played it," and then I tried it. I'm like,
okay, probably not. Like, well, like there is like you can just devote your time to fucking building stuff and blah blah blah, or like there is a story kind of to it that you can like go and do, and like you fight the Ender Dragon thing and all that shit and beat the game, as it were. But
my kids have done that.
Well, come back to me when there's like a Beernomicron version.
When you need some help with like crafting recipes, just let me know. I'll get Liam on there to help you out.
The shit that you could do, Radar, in terms of like Beernomicron lore that you could like build and like I don't know. I feel like if you liked the game and like had interest in it, like, your creative mind could be fun. It'd be pretty cool. But you don't like it, you don't like it.
The Radar's mind be fun.
I honestly wonder how good my children are at that game.
Dude, like there's like you guys know the website Fiverr, where like there you can get it started out as this thing where like you just pay $5 and somebody will do something for you. Like PewDiePie got in a bunch of trouble because he got these people to hold up a sign that said "kill all the Jews" or something like that. He's like, "There's no way they'll do this," but they didn't even know English and they did it and they got in a bunch of trouble. But it was nowadays it's a thing. It's a site where like if you want someone to write a custom song for you, or if you want something blah blah blah, you can pay up to like depending on the person you want and what you want done.
Yeah,
it could be like $1,000 and they'll do this thing. But like people pay like $200 for somebody to like build them a house in Minecraft.
Yeah,
and like some of the shit that people can build in Minecraft, man, it just like I got a nice little house. It looks pretty cool, but like compare it to some of the other shit that people do, and it's just like my house is shit. It's shit. I in the near future, actually, I'm going to tear down my house, and it's on top of this little hill, and I'm going to build. I have like visions in my head that I probably won't ever be able to actually create in real life, but I want to build a really cool looking house. I got ambition. Yeah,
there you go. You got ambition. Good for you.
Next step is to make it reality.
We finally made the slow roll around. I'm just drinking a steam whistle.
Steam whistle.
I'm drinking a big old steamer, a big steaming pile.
Hey, I've got a 6-pack of steam whistle in my fridge because I wanted the opener.
That's what I got too. I got the opener last week, or was it this week? It's from a different 6-pack. It's from the bottles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I always like my steam whistle openers. I've been collecting them for about 6 years at this point. I know I haven't gotten most of the ones at the beginning, but I wish they'd re-release them. I would pay to just have the whole collection.
Do you have this one?
They're actually quite cool looking. Isn't that last year's one?
Yeah, this is just last year's.
Yeah, no, I have every one for the last 6 years or so. So whenever that was,
I'm pretty sure that was last year's.
Yeah, I do believe it was last year's. That was actually probably one of their best ones.
I think I have another one around here.
It's literally a fucking steam whistle. Like, how much better can you get?
Right?
There's a few of them where, like, one of them was like a fucking triangle. It's like, this is the worst opener ever. You can, like, literally, like, if you were in a steam whistle investor meeting, Ashley Saxon will walk in and call all you potatoes.
I got the beer that you guys had on the analysis.
Yay. Oh, God.
Here,
Don't give it to a hobo.
We would have included you.
If I got home like 15 minutes earlier, I was going to hop in, but I didn't make it in time. I'm assuming it wasn't overly enjoyed by the sounds of things?
It was a meh beer.
Where did Ray go?
It's an amber lager.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
How are those toes there, Greg? You're essentially massaging your own toes.
I'm looking at the new. It's weird. I'm looking at the new videos of Arc'teryx stuff for the new fall-winter collection. Yeah, and I get really weird about it. So I think I need to turn my camera off right now.
Well, I will let you know if you subconsciously start licking your own toes.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you can trust me for that.
I don't like feet. I don't like
a jacket fetish or something.
I don't like touching feet.
The
fact Greg is sitting there like rubbing his own toes is fucking serious. It actually grosses me out a bit.
In between your toes.
No, you know what? It actually, like, all joking aside, I don't know. I just do it. I don't know. I don't really have a reason for doing it.
Because you're fucking weird.
You're actually quite like weird. Like, I can actually hold shit with my feet that like that.
I could do that too.
I can pick shit up with my feet too. Like,
you know what, Greg? I'll be completely honest. When I'm sitting casually like you are, I usually have my leg crooked, bent upwards, or something like that. I never sit with both feet on the ground either.
This is how I'd be like right here, like kind of like laying like this sometimes.
Got a foot rest.
My leg kind of over here, like just. Woo.
Well, I'm always kind of doing this thing where I put my fingers between my toes. I don't know why I do it. It's just a habit. So.
Actually, it's surprisingly, I actually sit here on my couch cross-legged a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm sort of sitting here cross-legged. I got a footstool underneath my desk here.
Yeah, Nick, we don't need to hear about your giant dick, okay?
That's not cross-legged. I got like my legs like right up underneath kind of thing. I
don't know. My legs aren't really crossed, but they're kind of like. And I've got both on a footstool.
I see what you're saying.
Actually, it's been a while. I probably can't do it anymore, but I used to be able to fucking basically get it under there.
The adventurous. Here's my crotch. You can see where my legs are.
Oh,
and my
at least you're wearing pants.
Yeah, at least I'm wearing pants. Well, that almost wasn't too.
I almost wasn't.
I put it up before I went live with Greg earlier.
I almost didn't wear pants, and then all of a sudden I did.
Look, there's a vagina for you.
I might stand up and walk away, and somebody sees me wearing my underwear or less or something.
I would love to see Nick wearing a thong, an albino rhino thong.
Jesus Christ, no.
Disgusting.
Albino rhino thong.
Oh, wouldn't that would be?
You just want to see the horn, Greg.
I want to see Nick do a George Costanza style photo shoot.
I was in the pool.
Oh yeah,
it's spread out on the couch.
Yeah.
I feel violating
That's awesome.
Yeah,
the Art of Seduction, I think the episode was called.
Yeah, I feel this is probably like one of those Me Too culture things, but I feel Nick's asking for it. I just feel the way Nick dresses, he's asking for it.
He is.
I'm not dressing slutty, Greg.
Doesn't leave anything to the imagination. It's just all just tight and fucking there. Yeah. Sexy bitch.
That was a sexy snort.
You haven't got
my growl, man.
Wow.
I once scared the shit out of some friends, but not really that good of friends when I was in public school with that. We were on like, well, where I don't know if it still happens these days, but well, obviously not this year, but back when I was in grade 8, there was this thing that happened called the grade 8 camping trip. And the grade 8 students from like 10 or so different schools would all converge on this camping place, and you'd set up your camping area, and then every day there'd be like different activities that you do and shit. And we're there for I think 3 or 4 days. And the one night we were running out of firewood, and there was like this fence that you're not supposed to climb. You're not supposed to go over the fence. That's like the limit of where you can go. And we're like, let's go over that fence.
Oh, good.
Went over the fence, and there was like reports, like they probably trying to scare us by saying there's bears in the area and stuff like that. And I'm just, I don't know, I was kind of freaked out for whatever reason, and we're walking along, and my buddy in front of me had a frying pan as like his weapon, and I think I had a stick or something, and like the guy in front had the light, and we're like looking for wood. We found a bit, and at one point, I'm like, I don't know why, but I was like just extra kind of nervous. I think we heard something, and my buddy in front of me just jumped, did like a 180, and like gah in my face, and it fucking just. I like I like ran, and I kept running and jumped over the fucking fence and like jumped into the tent and like just like fucking huddled there. I was like fucking just scared. And they eventually came back, and they're like, I can hear them over the fire, like laughing at me and stuff. Carries, blah blah. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try something. So I snuck out of the tent and went behind we had a separate tent for where the food was kept, because you want to keep the food separate. And I went behind there.
Oh, you pissed in the food, did you?
No, that would have been. See, I had to eat the food. That would have been a bad idea. But I went behind that tent and kind of hunched down, and they're like over here by the fire, and just started just being. And they fucking jumped up and took off across the field. So, Carrie, get out of the tent! There's a bear! There's a bear! And I'm just like I got up, walked over, sat down by the fire, and enjoyed like 5 minutes apiece until they came back and beat me a little bit.
Yeah.
I got duct taped to a fucking tree a couple days later too.
That
sucks.
I didn't have a great time at the camping trip.
Not when your supposed friends are assholes.
At one point though, at one point we were trying to make a fire. And I was making a fire, and they were all like laughing at me because they're like, your fire's not gonna work and all that. And what I did, I had this little tiny fire burning, and I took like a bunch of wood and went like bam, 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 until it was like about 3 feet high, and just let it go. And they were all like, well, whatever, your fire sucks. They went over to the other fire that was okay. Within about 5 minutes, my fucking fire became this raging bonfire that was so crazy. The teachers came and yelled at me.
A raging inferno.
It was awesome. Just like, because if you do that, the air gets sucked into it. Like it makes like this.
Why would they shame your fire? Like, come on.
Because I was the redheaded freckle-faced boy named Carrie, and anytime anybody had any opportunity to put me down or make fun of me, it happened.
Hey, see, listen, I like to make fun of you as much as the next person, but you as a ginger you don't realize your potential to be a ladies' man, because there are so many women that would want to fuck you because you're a ginger.
You said this, and I'm assuming it's just the size of the city I live in compared to where you are, or something like that. Because here, it's just really not the case. From what I see.
How's your friend Leah doing? Because she seems like she wants to be pretty comfortable with you.
Her name is Lee.
Lee, pardon me.
And she's doing well.
My personal opinion is you just need to give her the fucking signal, and she'll come over and fuck your brains out. I don't think there's any questions asked that she wants to fuck you hard.
Anyway.
She wants to fuck you harder than she wants to fuck Nick. Everyone wants to fuck
I'm not going there.
Everyone's
like, I want to have my intestines torn out of me. Let's do Nick.
The other night, actually. I think it was Monday or something like that. Like when I got Guy and Chris and Lee into the realm on Minecraft for the first time, and I went to work at 7 p.m. I think, or something like that. And I got back at like 3 a.m, and Chad and Lee played just played Minecraft together for like 8 hours. It was kind of funny.
Did they find any diamonds?
Oh, we have so many diamonds. We have so much of everything. So much of everything. Like it's fucking
bragging at this point.
Liam was trying to explain to me how many levels you have to go down before you can hit your diamond level, and then
usually want to be around like level 14 or so.
Something like that. I don't know.
You should explain to him how many women you have to go down on before you can hit his mother.
I made this cool room last night. Like I was just kind of bored. I wanted to see how much how much room was kind of left in this area. But I knew that there was like a blank spot kind of that I could call hollow out, and I wanted to see how big I could make it. And I made this huge room, and I made it like entirely black, like the ceiling, the floor, everything. And then I put and on the floor, I made like my somewhat of a representation of my Redbeard logo in the carpet. It's a random fun room I made. It's cool.
Speaking of the carpet matching the drapes, hey, Chad.
Speaking of carpet matching the drapes, the only brown hairs on this guy is his asshole.
Jesus, Nick, you're embarrassing the poor.
Nothing embarrasses me.
Before I'll say it again. Just get a bidet, man. Say it, it'll fucking solve all your problems.
Yeah.
I think I might get in shit come November.
Why?
Well, that's when the side by side will end up in Winnipeg is November. Okay. And I took the Buds computer. With me. The Buds computer is the Can-Am Bombardier computer that lets you program everything. And I wrote a big message in it that's basically said, "Fuck you guys and your fucking bullshit. Keep your fucking piece of shit."
There you go.
So when they turn it on, that's what's going to go across the screen.
That's hilarious.
That's clever. Nice.
There you go.
Hopefully you give the money back at least.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, he said he got the refund.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
they were arguing with me that it happened up here, but they ended up refunding it. And like I said, I ended up putting all the I bought a Foreman. So a Foreman is an ATV, just a regular 4x4, but that was $6,000 less than the side by side. We got $6,000 back. We put it towards more debt, and then next year we'll look at another side by side.
Side by sides can easily be the cost of a small car.
They range from 10 grand to like 40 grand.
Jesus.
Yeah. I remember we were doing a hood fan in a small town outside North Bay, and I'm assuming it's a town where you're allowed to ride four-wheelers on the road, but at the same time, this thing was basically a small car. Like this guy and his wife were in this side-by-side that had like fully enclosed interior. It looked like it had like a fucking radio, a little sat-nav screen, everything in it. And they both had their helmets on inside, which just seemed, I guess you still have to wear a helmet in them, even though it's basically got the same safety standards as a car these days. And it's weird, but it's just like, it's really weird to me. Like that was that was their car in this small town, just driving down the road in this little fucking side by side.
Probably a lot better on gas than a car.
Yeah, they're generally a lot less weight for sure.
So here's an ignorant question. So if people are that far north of the tree line, right? What the hell do people burn when they need to make a fire? Let's just say you're out on a I don't know, a 2-day trek. You're hunting. You're whatever.
Depending on your skill set, seals and blubber and stuff, it's like used to make lanterns and shit and things. I know that.
I guess I don't know. What do they burn up there, Chad?
Fireman did an episode where he did that. Chad just vanished.
That's all right.
Fireman did an episode where he was in the Arctic and he had like I think he was given, because he didn't have like, he wasn't going to randomly hunt a seal when he's only surviving for like 7 days, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They gave him like this little bag of seal blubber, seal fat that he was able to, he could eat it, but he's also able, he took his knife and like scraped it into this, it's called a kudluk or something, into this like small, basically piece of stone that has like a tiny little bit of an indent to it, like a very shallow bowl almost kind of thing.
Sure.
Check the stuff in there.
Bad. I'm not sure if that means he's not coming back or not.
His internet has issues all the time. But he took a piece of fabric and like soaked it all up in this fat and like made it so the fabric had like this little, it folded up to like a wick kinda, and you light that on fire, and that little fire, it's the same concept as they tell you to keep a candle in your car. Because if you're ever stranded in the winter, you light that candle will be enough to keep the temperature in the car from dropping to the point where you'll die. It's really, like the same thing with this kudluk thing. You light that in an igloo, it's not going to melt the igloo, but it's going to keep it in there to a temperature where it's going to be nice for you, and light as well. Yeah. But as far as like a big fire, I don't know. Like I don't think they just don't. Basically,
they just don't. They must not. I mean, I mean, it's one thing to be Survivor Man and come across some flotsam on the beach or whatever, and some random wood to burn. But like if if you're out there a few hundred years ago and you're surviving, what the fuck you burning for fire if you're that far north of the tree line?
Do bones burn?
I can't imagine they do.
Because I know like the whale bones and stuff is like stuff that the Inuit and those northern communities would have used for a lot of stuff. But I feel like, again, I feel like that like whales and their blubber and seals and their blubber is probably just a whole lot of blubber burning going on up there.
Yeah, maybe. I got to go pizzle. I'll be right back.
For shizzle, pizzle. I'm barely horking through this pineapple.
Yeah, it's a rough go, isn't it?
My thoughts on the analysis beer from tonight. Style probably an 8, but overall enjoyment probably like a 5.
Yeah.
It's I'm just not a fan of the style really.
I think I gave it a 7 and a 6.
It's got a bit of a nice kind of caramelly toffee flavor going on, but then it transitions into just this kind of aftertaste.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not terrible, but it's not something that I will probably purchase. I don't know if I've reviewed it, but if I haven't, then I probably won't now.
I don't think Chad's coming back. He's saying his internet shit to bed and rebooting
the modem is a half an hour. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's a shitty modem. It must be something to do with their satellite internet or something, and has to boot.
That makes sense.
Mid 2000s satellite device or something for the entire community because they.
Yeah, well, yeah. If it's all running off,
they treat people like shit, and then people don't realize it, kind of thing. Like, oh, they keep asking for shit.
Well, it's like when I was up in the mine, like they have a satellite, and it's funny because I'm pretty sure it's always been about 600 megs a day, but the mine has been losing people daily, kind of thing, because they're in shutdown mode. They're basically tearing the mine apart right now. So I feel like why not just let the first couple times I went there, actually, it was a free for all. Like they had 9,000 different websites are blocked, so you can't access fucking porn. You can't any website that has to do with alcohol. You can't access. Can't do downloads. You can't play games. You like online games. You can't. Netflix and YouTube were like and Facebook and stuff. That was like all you could really do on the internet. But you could use it as much as you wanted. It was go nuts. And then all of a sudden we got there this one time, and it's like here's your password and stuff. Whereas before it was just like a public Wi-Fi thing. Hop on, away you go. All of a sudden it's like here's your password, and you have this much usage per day. And depending on how much you do, that usage goes away fast.
Nice.
It was sucky.
Like the wasn't this time, but the last time I went there, I think was the first time I hopped into an after chat thing with you guys while I was at the mine. I remember like going to the gym and like running around in the gym with my phone. And during that stream, I hit my limit at one point, and I was just like, no more internet for you for the next like 3 hours until it resets. I couldn't even like send you guys a message being like, shit, my internet died, because my internet was 100% cut off at that point.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Back when my late fiance was still around, if I went into her brother's place, he was on satellite internet because where they lived, they had to get they basically had to get ExploreNet, it's called, which is off satellite. It was 500 megs a day, and if you went over that 500 meg limit a day, it wouldn't reset. It wasn't just reset tomorrow at a certain time. It wouldn't reset for 24 hours. So you would be stuck with dial-up internet speeds if you went over.
Well, usually if you go over, they're like, okay, go over, but we're going to charge you more.
Yeah, no, it's the satellite internet, so everybody has a lot of quota, and it's probably they just haven't upgraded the satellites in a while.
That's weird. Years ago, when
it sucks, and apparently it's still shit from what I've been hearing.
I think that I see like billboards and stuff. I think they're better than what you're saying they were, but I still hear people having issues with living in the middle of nowhere and getting shit internet for sure.
Oh yeah, rural. It's still a problem. Rural internet. People with rural internet have shitty access to the internet.
A guy I know that lives in Perry Sound, he keeps posting stuff. I think it might end up being one of the beta test areas for that Starlink Elon Musk internet shit. So that'll be kind of interesting.
That'll be interesting to see how that ends up working.
But years ago when when DSL, I think when fiber optics kind of first came to North Bay, I was with Bell, and I had, I think, what was it, 100 gigs a month was my limit or something like that. And if I went over that, it was like 50 cents a gig up to a maximum of like $15. And once it hit $15, it was unlimited. So I was like, every now and then, every time it went over, I'd be like, whatever, I'm just going to pay the extra $15 and download whatever I want. Cause like for me, I can download 100 gigs in a day, depending on what I'm doing online.
Depends what you're doing. Even if you're just doing legal stuff like streaming movies, or if you're uploading the videos to YouTube, then I would use that. Because like when I was,
I could download.
I lived in the city.
Sorry, go ahead.
When I lived in the city and I was on Rogers Internet, and this is before CRTC passed that whole you can't do the metered internet shit ruling. I used to have a connection. It was like 20 gigs a month or something. We're talking about a while ago.
Yeah.
That I would go over that to the point where I was paying almost $100 a month. So I upgraded my connection so that I would get 60 gigs a month. That I was exceeding that. So because we didn't have cable, we would watch all of our stuff online, either download or we'd watch streaming. And then we went over that, and we were paying like $120 a month. So we went up to the Ultra connection from Rogers, which was like 120 gigs a month. We were exceeding that. Like my bills had skyrocketed, and this was actually during a period where I was unemployed. My bills had skyrocketed to over $120 a month for that kind of bandwidth. It's ridiculous, and it's kind of like extortion. We're just trying, and I wasn't even downloading a whole lot of stuff. It was just mainly watching YouTube.
We in Canada do pay a lot more than we should be for like the internet and cell phone prices in Canada are stupid compared to other places, man. Like I pay about $110 or so a month for my internet, but it's like it's gigabit. Like it's as fast as you can really get in Canada right now. I think it's all.
Yeah, yours is the Bell one, right? So it's basically the fast of the fast.
Like the day that the guy came to install my internet, he was here for almost 8 hours. Because like for some reason in their system, it was like I'm on the grid kind of thing, but I wasn't really. He ran me. I have like my own line that goes from like a block away to here. He had to like run me my own line all the way here. It was fucking crazy, but it's never even really went. It's got a battery backup thing that lasts for like 24 hours if the internet dies or the power dies, and I can still use my internet and shit, and it's unlimited. Which, doing legal. If I could download I can think of a bunch of games where if I downloaded 2 games in a day, that would be at least like 150 gigs in a day right there. It's.
Yeah. My big thing is that I don't like to spend that much less than you. I spend about $90 a month, and my internet's about 300 megabits. I just really don't want to deal with being with Bell or Rogers. Like I'm with part of a small internet company that, they get their bandwidth from Rogers, but I just really don't want to deal with being one of the big guys. When I used to be with Rogers, their customer service was so shit that I was just like, I don't really want to.
The issue with that here in North Bay, there are a couple small internet companies. But here in North Bay, Bell owns all the lines, and Bell will not give anybody the ability to offer anything beyond like 5 megabits per second upload. Yeah, I can get some pretty good download speeds, but as far as like me wanting to be like streaming and stuff and doing this kind of shit, like it would be just a fucking nightmare. And until that, it's funny because the one company, I think they're called VNet. Or it's maybe it's Tech Savvy.
Tech Savvy is one, yeah.
But the one company in Perry Sound where my sister lives, they actually have their own lines there, and they offer gigabit internet in Perry Sound for like I think $60 a month or something, which is just outrageous.
Yeah.
Whereas as here Bell, you can get Bell or it's here's Cogeco, who does the cable internet, and
that's what we're on. We're on Cogeco. And it's funny because, I ran into internet issues while we were doing the analysis tonight, and nothing's changed in my household over the last 6 to 8 months.
Here we go. He's here.
Hey, man.
Our internet usage at peak times has always been the same. All the kids are on their own devices. whatever we're streaming. But only recently, within the last 3 weeks, have we been running into a lot of issues with like, choppy internet, drop connection, blah, blah, blah. But nothing inside the house has changed, like infrastructure-wise. Haven't changed anything. Yeah, it's really bizarre.
I watched a video talking about how how they always say that there's like peak hours and stuff. If everybody's using it at the same time, then you're all going to get slower speeds. That during this whole pandemic thing, that has basically been completely disproven. Like the number of people using insane amounts of bandwidth all day long while they're sitting at home, not at work, has like people are still getting completely fine. Aside from what's happening with you is weird, but in general, everybody's internet's still completely fine, even though everybody's using 1,000 times more bandwidth. Yeah. So it's
for those of us that are sprawled like dickholes, Xplornet was fucking bad for that shit. So essentially a smaller company, now it's fucking stable as cock.
We were just talking about Xplornet. That's funny. But yeah, I'm very happy that Guy has better internet now. But I can
actually stream. I have 4.7 upload, so I can almost streamable.
Nice. Well, I think of Greg saying the whole issue with Roger, whatever, in the customer service. Personally, I've actually always gotten at one. Was it Bell? I think one time I got this snarky bitch from Bell who I was just explaining my situation, and I just said fuck or fucking or something. Well, this fucking happened, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, just please don't use that kind of language while you're on the phone with me. And just one of those kind of just snarky bitches who. But aside from that, I have actually always got pretty solid customer service from Bell.
Oh, internet best. This is start.ca. Fucking love those guys.
Start.ca. Never heard of that.
I had Start for 5 years. I really liked them, but they just didn't offer basically they were offering me 115 megabits a second for the same price. Another company was offering me 300, so that's why I switched. But I Start was great for the 5 years I had them.
There you go.
Have you been into the realm recently, Guy?
I finished my roof, I finished my floor and my walls before I joined.
Thank God.
Nice.
Jeez.
Well, I chopped down all the trees.
I think it's time to play some golf.
You say realm? I'm agree with that with the realm.
Golf.
After this is done, I'm definitely going to be jumping in and playing some Minecraft for a while for sure.
No.
Yeah, build a fucking Viking den.
I'd be down for some golf right now or something though. Greg doesn't play golf though, so we'd be excluding him.
You drop penises.
Nick can play, Geek can play, I can play, Redbeard can play, and even a Schlexicron can play golf.
Right.
Well, I mean, at the same time, Greg, it's happened before. Greg can just share. Someone can share the screen, and Greg can talk and make fun of things as we play.
Or I can go outside and hang out with my wife, who's on the balcony. So.
Greg hates golf, so
I enjoy
golf. I think Greg just wants to drink and talk or show his penis again.
I always enjoy Greg's company, so I'm just saying I don't want to.
I thought you said
I don't want to exclude him.
I thought he was gonna say I always enjoyed Greg's penis.
If I did, it was when I got to the point where I don't remember because that happened twice now when I went and visited Greg. So. Between then and me waking up in the morning, maybe I did enjoy it.
Sore bum bum.
That never happened. So I either
Greg would be down.
Maybe he's just really gentle. I don't know.
He calls it the racist game. He would play that, but besides that, that's all.
Guy. Next time later on if we go in, I've got the most randomly cool room in the basement, in my bedroom now in Minecraft. It's awesome.
I'm thinking of making a second level on mine, put my bedroom up on the roof. Chad
and I almost tried to. I think he filled in a bunch of the holes for you last night. Actually, well, he was over there. He was he was gonna try to finish your house for you. He was like, I'm just gonna build the same thing. I'm gonna copy it basically and take it to. But yeah.
On the other hand, good luck. That's fucking complicated.
Well, you see, I completely modified the Nether portal. It looks pretty cool now. Now it looks like the entrance to a cave.
I saw you guys. Somebody dropped I'm sure it's Chad. Dropped a chest full of wood blocks for me.
Who's got a chest?
my
yeah,
house.
yeah, that was him. Yep. No, wait. That might have been
okay,
me. I think
on,
that might have
sorry.
been me. I can't remember now.
I got to jump in for a second, and then you can finish your conversation. I'm looking at Guy right now, and I'm picturing Peter from The Family Guy in the episode where he grows the beard, and then he has the little bird that lives inside of his beard, and he's feeding it.
Season 1, episode 5.
Have you guys?
Was it that?
Had to use it.
That was
that early?
episode. Yeah.
Wow.
You
Yeah, it was.
had to use a fat cartoon reference
had
because
the
it just
DVD.
said that the Hobbit, the second is it the second new Hobbit, the guy with the birds in his beard and stuff.
Oh, the wizard there that has the Radagast.
The Radagast, the wood wizard.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, so.
Yeah, like I don't see Family Guy. I don't see Peter from Family Guy at all when I look at Guy. But
no, not when I look at Guy, but just the way he's like with the beard, and I just thought bird in the beard.
Now I can actually do this. Like, it's fucking awesome. And my beard kit's gonna arrive tomorrow apparently.
Nice,
Beard what?
Beard kit.
My sweat gutter arrives. My sweat gutter arrives tomorrow.
Sweat gutter.
Yeah,
Your sweat gutter.
The fuck is a sweat
What
gutter?
is that?
I mentioned this earlier. I met Nick. Must be when Nick was peeing. It's basically a small headband that has a small eaves trough in the front of it.
Yeah,
Like,
so
when I'm working, when I like get working in a fucking hot kitchen, like crawling up in the hood fan and shit, like. But I actually was here for this. Yeah, but my head sweats like a fucking bitch, and because there's no hair up there, it just like runs down my face into my eyes and stuff. And this sweatband thing, it basically just goes around. It's like really small, kind of like discreet, I guess you'd call it, and has this in the front right here, just this tiny like little lip. So it makes it like any sweat that runs down here kind of flows down like this and just goes down off so it doesn't get in my eyes. And I've wanted one for a while.
That's a great idea.
Cut a big hole in the sponge and just wear a sponge on your head.
Again, like it the sponge. Like I was telling Ashley, I call it my head rag. I'll be like at the point where I'm up in the hood, but I go, hey, toss me a head rag, and toss me a rag that I then put on my head to like just sit there and basically absorb the sweat for a while. And like every so often, like I'll just like use that rag and like wipe my head off and everything, and like it gets to the point where I can wring that rag out.
I'm feeling you'd be a very complicated person to work with on a daily basis.
I'm really not, man. Unless you're a
head rag, throw the head rag.
No, like unless like I've worked with people that like would probably say that because those people are idiot. If you're an idiot,
I would be.
Then I'm gonna treat you accordingly, and you're probably not gonna have a good time working with me. But if you're smart and you're not an idiot, then I'm gonna treat you like a smart person, and we're gonna have a great time. Like the guy I'm working with right now, who unfortunately doesn't like the job as much as I hoped he would. He had got kind of another thing going on where in a few months he's going to leave for his better paying job he's getting. But
who?
His name's Adam. You've never met or anything, but he's got like the same mindset as me. Like we get to the job, we hop out of the van, and we do the job. There's the other crew we have. They both smoke. I don't know if that's the thing, but like there's like I'll do like me and my guy will do the same job that like him and the other guy do, and it'll take us like at least 2 hours less time.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what they do.
Like I get paid like my job's kind of like a by the job kind of thing. I get paid 5 hours per job. Unless the bigger job, then it'll be like maybe 8 or travel times in there as well and stuff. But usually it's 5 hours per job. And if I get to the job and it's going to take me an hour and a half, awesome.
You get paid for 5 hours.
Like I consider it like I didn't as opposed to me making my hourly wage that I just made a bunch more per hour kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Whereas like their mentality is like, oh, we got 5 hours. Might as well take 5 hours.
Right.
It's like, like I've gotten like people have gotten mad because I do the job too fast, kind of thing. It's like I've been doing this for like fucking 20 years. I can get your shit fucking clean, fucking fast.
It's fast.
Like I've got like everything that I do is like just it's I've done it all 1,000. Like every hood is different. It's the same job every time, but every hood has a different hood, different ductwork, different fan on the roof, different access panels. It's like different. It's all different. But I've seen it. I've basically seen it all, kind of thing, and I know what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that mentality either. Like, if you're capable of doing something in a shorter period of time, but you still get paid the same amount, then fucking get the shit done and go reclaim that part of your day that you didn't have. Right?
Yeah, well, that's what a lot of Canada Post employees do is that if they get their route done, they can be done faster than somebody else who takes longer on the route. It's and that to me makes sense. If
Well, I
you're
have
getting
a
the job
buddy
done,
that
you're
got
getting
on
the
with the
job
school
done.
board as a janitor, and for the first little while, they kept bitching at him because like it's a different, like you have to be there for this long, and this is the stuff you have to do in that time, and it's like you can get this stuff done in like a third of the time you have to be there. So he but like he was like everyone's like bitching at him for being too fast. It's like you're basically making us all look bad, kind of thing, and then they're going to cut back all our hours and all those guys. Collect a lot of these industries you wouldn't think are like it's a group of people that are all kind of conspiring together to make the most amount of money for doing the least amount of work, kind of thing.
That sounds like a union.
I was just gonna say unions seem all amazing and stuff, but when you get down to it, a lot of their stuff is just to be really, really, really cushy to their members and shit. It's fucked up.
I've never worked in a union, so I really can't.
Smokers Guild.
What?
It's like the Smokers Guild.
Oh yes.
That's what the union is.
Guild.
Yeah, guild. The D. Like dildo.
Gildo.
D is D.
Gildo Baggins.
Gildo.
Dildo Baggins.
The insecticide.
I need a sparkle puff. I'll be right back.
Nice.
Oh, you dirty slut.
Sparkle puff, I don't have.
You know, we were talking about the Hobbit movies earlier. They had a lot of potential, but they were not nearly even as close as awesome as the Lord of the Rings movies were.
No, but I still found them pretty good.
They were good, but I really feel that they could have compressed it down to 2 movies, and it would have been a little more tight.
Easily. My main issue was every movie had one big scene that was so stupidly unbelievable. Like the first movie, when they meet the goblins, whatever, and they're like on this scaffolding thing, and the scaffolding thing falls like the height of the CN Tower, and they're all fine. That was just, I'm like that was like, it's too much, like suspension of disbelief. You can't. It's like no. This is just stupid. The second movie had the scene with the fucking barrels going down the river, and fucking Legolas like bouncing off their heads and stuff like a fucking little ballerina. No, that was, and the best part is huge continuity error because like they show all the barrels having like both lids on, and then all of a sudden they're in the river and they're all like popping their heads out with no lids ever coming off. The third movie, I can't think of what the thing was, but there's a thing in the third movie too that was like, no, this is.
Is it the third one? I just hated the rock monsters. Like, how lazy fucking you be to make a monster? It's just a bunch of rocks flowing together. Like,
the first one.
I hated that.
Was that the mountain fucking things fighting whatever in the first movie, whatever it was? That was pretty bad too.
Mountain
like the fact they survived that was just, like again, like the number of things that they just miraculously survived. Like you got this cast. There's like 20 fucking dwarfs. Kill a couple of them off. You know what I mean? Like give us some sense of like something might happen to these people, not just like
2 of them do.
But
not enough for Redbeard. He wanted more dwarfs to die.
I want some dwarf slaughter need to happen.
What happened to you go back to his sea crate or whatever it's called?
Well, when they climb the tree, whatever, and like the eagles randomly save them and shit. There's just so many. Oh.
Well, even in Lord of the Rings, it's kind of a little bit convenient where it's like, oh, we're screwed. No, the Eagles came and helped us. Why didn't the Eagles fucking come and help you in the first place?
There's a whole like fan lore kind of theory about like the whole.
It was.
Like, why didn't the Eagles just like grab the ring and just go drop it in the mountain? But there's a whole like there's their own fucking proud culture and all this weird like there's
mating season. They can't get out for mating season.
If you really know the Tolkien lore, I guess it's like there's reasons behind it, but like it makes like why didn't you just or even Eagle carry Frodo with the ring to the fucking end of it and drop him down? He goes in and before it takes him over, kind of thing.
Just drop Frodo with the ring in the lava, you know.
Hey.
Maybe they had to renew their Eagle flying license, and it was just
maybe they didn't kill Smog. They could have just got Smog to help them. Now they have to just give him a bag of gold or something.
You mean Smeagol?
I feel like Smog had enough. It is Smaug. I feel like he had enough gold. Like that was a lot of gold.
Oh, Smog at the Dragon.
Basically, what we're saying is that there's just a lot of plot holes in the whole thing, right?
Actually, you know what though? I watched the animated 1977 whatever Hobbit for the first time ever. It's like the whole scene where Smaug dies and stuff is so. I haven't read the book, to be honest. I've read Lord of the Rings. I've never read The Hobbit. So I don't know if it's. I imagine it's written better because it's done so badly in the fucking like. He's like the guy's like the bird comes and whispers to him and tells him like that Smaug has one tiny scale missing where you can get him, and then he's like, "I'll use my trusty black arrow. You've come back to me, and you're my father." Like he has this fucking arrow that is, I guess, has been passed down for like 2 generations. That his grandfather used to shoot from his bow, and he always got it back. This magical, indestructible fucking arrow. Where in the movie, it was at least like this fucking big, crazy bolt thing that, like, yeah, it's just like I'm gonna shoot this fucking magic, this my lucky arrow, basically, and it was so dumb.
I found it kind of really fucking stupid that he fucking used his kid's shoulder to fucking like launch the thing. It's like you're lucky you didn't fucking snap your kid's neck.
Yes.
Sparkle Puff is like really good if you just drink it right out of the can.
I would argue Sparkle Puff is good regardless. I think people make a big deal of the fact that there's a lot of sparkles in it, but I think the Sparkle Puff is a very
I don't think I've ever tried just drinking from the can.
You were told me to do it like a few weeks ago, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking try it."
Like, well, you know what? It just kind of it takes out of your head the way it looks when you pour it in the glass.
And you wait, it makes an actual cloud in the glass.
That's what the recent ones I've had, Guy, what you just said, that's happened for sure. Like you pour it, it's like, and yeah. But like I had a couple cans that Flying Monkeys actually sent me fucking checks for. That's how they reimburse you. It's hilarious. But like where it was like the chunks were something that just like the beer and the flavor and like it was like something was not.
Yeah,
I think it might be like Sparkle Puff. It's one of those beers that like it has to be kept refrigerated. If the place like lets it sit, if the LCBO just doesn't have it in the fridge, let's sit on the shelf for a couple months, kind of thing. I feel like that can happen in there.
Oh, a bunch of badness can happen. It's funny you mentioned that because I don't think I've ever seen this on the shelf. I've only ever seen Sparkle Puff in the fridge.
I'm thinking. I want to say that it sucks. Like like I was saying before, like there's 3 LCBOs here in town. The biggest one has the worst selection. The smallest one has the best selection. The smallest one also has the least amount. Like it doesn't have. It's the only one of the 3 that doesn't have like walk-in beer fridge.
Yeah,
they just have like a bunch of coolers.
Check the picture, put in the chat. It looks like if you just
a lot of the coolers are full of macro shit.
Oh,
when it should be the craft beer that needs to be kept cold. Yeah, and and the people that like whoever's ordering the beer for this LCBO is doing a great job. But whoever's deciding which beers need to be kept in the fridge and which ones not, like they'll keep like some craft craft lagers in the fridge when they've got like sour IPAs and stuff on the shelf out here. It's like
all of that space is it's all paid for. It's all paid for. So
it sucks.
Yeah, it has to be
yeah. See that looks like the fucking glass from American Pie that you just showed, Guy. Like that like So somebody's girl didn't want him to finish in her, so he finished in the beer, and that's what you drank. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's good regeneration powers.
American Pie, the first American Pie. Come on now.
Yeah.
Good movie. American Reunion is pretty good too, I would argue.
I don't know if I. Well, was it that American Pie 3 wasn't American Reunion?
No, that was American Wedding. So the mainline movies is American Pie 2, American Wedding, and then American Reunion, and then there's the straight-to-video ones, which are kind of like softcore porn.
I don't think I've seen American Reunion. I remember the first two were great. The third one was just way too much of the same old shit for me.
Which one is it? Which one is he fucks a grandma?
Who
fucks a grandma? Well, there's a grandma. Fuck Stifler's mom. Stifler's mom, not a grandma though.
Stifler.
I thought maybe the wedding he fucks a grandma.
No, he fucks Stifler's mom every single time.
No, there's another worse one. It's like fucks a grandma.
Stifler.
Remember, Stifler. The first one was he drank the fucking cum beer. The second one he got pissed on, and the third one was when he ate like the piece of dog shit, pretending it was like a chocolate. That was just so unnecessarily dumb. Like that movie was too much dumb for me.
So if we're talking about that dumb genre of movie, the one with the grossest scene I can remember is one in Van Wilder, where they take all of the dog semen, dog, and then they put it into the eclairs, and then
that's fucking absolutely gross. But at the same time, that was done. That was fucking hilarious, man. Like, it's still warm and like guzzling it and stuff. That was that. I haven't seen that. That was Ryan Reynolds' kind of breakout. Like, that movie was. I never saw this. There was a second direct to movie DVD. The Rise of Taj. But no, that was a great moments. When they when they take him down, like he's like when he does like the whole like shitting thing and like the fucking trash bucket and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, that was a great movie.
Her name's Naomi. That's Imone backwards.
I worked with a Naomi years ago, and that was a joke that she did not like at all.
It's just Moan.
Funny how people get hurt about certain things.
That's a valid point right there.
Vince. Penelope.
Name or their
Penelope.
Penelope.
In the movie when Taj like is with that one girl and like he's all oiled up and he like slides across the bed and then like gets lit on fire. Like,
that's Imone. That's Naomi.
Was that her? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like just the Taj that he was. That's also Kumar, I guess is his name.
Yeah.
Also, another series. The first two movies were really good. The Christmas one was not great.
I actually. I think it's not terrible.
I didn't do it for me. I don't know. The first two were fucking great, and the last one was just. Like, I guess it's too much of the same shit repeated. I guess for me, I don't know.
You just haven't had your cock meat sandwich yet.
That was the second movie, not the third one.
It was.
I thought that was funny. That was good. Like when they're like going to do it, oh, it smells so bad. It was fucking hilarious. Or even the reason they got there when he's like they're on the plane, and the one old lady can't look at him without seeing like a fucking terrorist. And he's in the bathroom trying to use his fancy smokeless bong thing he got. Which why didn't you close the fucking door, you moron? Like that's the whole premise of the movie is Kumar was too stupid to close the door while he was smoking weed on a fucking plane. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and this was like post 9/11. It's not like this was in the fucking 80s or anything.
Yeah, even actually, whoever it was that played the impersonation, the funny joke, George Bush in that movie, that person did a solid fucking impersonation.
Yeah, I know
that was good.
Completely there.
Like I just rewatched Watchmen for the first time in a while the other day. There, like the 4-hour whatever ultimate cut. And
the 2008 movie?
The actor they got to play Richard Nixon in that movie does not look like Richard Nixon. He's got a huge.
It sounds like him,
but like they exaggerate his features to the point where it's just it's.
I think it was supposed to be like that.
Yeah, probably. Overall, great movie.
The Watchmen. That's the one with
The blue penis.
the blue penis.
Yeah, the blue penis. Yeah.
The blue,
Dr. Manhattan.
A fucking locomotive in this.
I like Dr. Mancocken, am I right?
Oh.
A locomotive.
Locomotive.
Christ.
That's the only quote I remember for that movie. It's like, yeah, I'm not stuck here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
I remember I went and saw that. I think I went and saw that with my mom.
Yeah, there's that sex scene, and you watch that.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that was awkward.
That was a nice sex scene, though.
Hey, Mom, look at that.
I like at the end when like that because they're in that Archie whatever flying thing, and like she hits the flamethrower thing at the end. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I've seen that movie quite a few times, actually.
Me too.
It still holds its own now.
It's I've never read the comic, but I aside from at the end it being like nuclear bomb things.
Yeah.
In the comics, apparently it's weird giant squid monster things.
Really?
Aside from that big difference, it's apparently really faithful to the comic.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's almost like a lot of people complained it was almost panel to panel faithful. The comic.
Well, like that's the thing. If they change stuff, people would have complained about that. It's like fucking people are stupid. You can never please anybody. So just like as far as faithful comic adaptations go, that's one of the. It's better than like Spider-Man when the Sam Raimi in the first movie when he like it's supposed to be Gwen Stacy and the fucking thing, and he drops them, and Gwen Stacy's supposed to fucking die, but no, it's Mary Jane instead, and Spider-Man's gonna save them both. Like fuck you. That was like a basic. That was him pissing on that comic, basically.
Was Gwen Stacy even in Raimi's Spider-Man?
She appeared in the third movie and didn't really have any bearing on anything except Mary Jane got jealous and stuff. It was
the dance scene.
It was done so that was done so badly.
And that was Bryce Dallas Howard.
So badly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
If anyone here watches Black Mirror, the episode of Black Mirror with her on it, she purposefully gained like 30 or 40 pounds for that role.
She looks good though. Those curves look good on her.
Well, yeah, even in that movie, even in that episode, she still looked great. But like she's in like you see her in Jurassic Park and stuff, and being all like that's one of the only like girl roles I can think. I know Christian Bale. You think of him, everyone knows that he did like the lose a bunch of weight for the mechanic, whatever, and like did a bunch of shit. But, like, you don't really hear about girls doing that. You hear about like Scarlett Johansson and people having to like adhere to these stupid diets and work out like a motherfucker to be as sexy as possible in Avengers and stuff.
Yeah,
but you don't hear about them like Bryce Dallas. Like she's props to her, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and she is a great actress as well.
Yeah, and she's starting to be a great director too. She directed an episode of The Mandalorian.
Honestly, haven't seen that series yet, but I do. I
haven't seen it.
That's awesome.
I hear it's good.
You know what? Other than maybe Rogue One, it's probably the best Star Wars that Disney's put out, and it's not because it's epic by any means. It's actually because it's very down to earth, and it's just like, hey, you know what? You know all that interesting shit at the beginning of A New Hope about like Mos Eisley? Yeah, let's explore that in a series.
Well, the analogy you just made, comparing that like Rogue One is that's Solo's pretty good as well, but it wasn't like Rogue One was like
Solo was good. Rogue One, I loved it.
Rogue One was the best. The Rogue One was the best of the Disney stuff that I have seen. Star Wars ish by a.
The problem with Solo I had is that it's not bad. It's probably one of the better Disney movies. It is just completely unnecessary. It's like, I don't want to see this. I don't care about this. I don't fucking need to see an origin story of Han Solo. Literally everything I need to know about Han Solo was told to me in A New Hope. And you don't need to fucking give me an entire 2-hour movie about this.
Well, no, you have to watch the movie to understand Han Solo.
I'll give you that. Like that's.
Well, it shows how he met. It shows how he met. It shows how he met the what's his name? Chewbacca. Yeah, and
you ever say Chewbacca?
Yeah, Jermaine.
Chinchilla. He met a chinchilla.
Who was the other guy?
Lando.
Lando. See, that's the thing.
He
though.
did well.
So,
I loved him in Solo. He did a good role.
So, Donald Glover is a great actor.
So here's the thing. So the Solo movie, it served dual purpose, right? Because people love Han Solo, but then it also became a springboard for like another shoot off with like Lando.
Except they probably won't because of how badly Solo bombed.
No, I'm pretty sure I just saw it the other day that they mentioned it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Have another Solo, really?
Of Solo, not to give spoilers away to anybody who hasn't watched it. They kind of set it up for a sequel.
Oh, they said that because Solo is supposed to be a trilogy, except it's not likely to happen because the first one bombed. But the movie is designed to be a trilogy.
Well, Emilia Clarke's role was pretty much set up to be like there's supposed to be more to the story.
See, there's the problem right there. Can people please stop casting Emilia Clarke in anything? She's an awful actress. She happened to be okay in Game of Thrones because she showed her tits a lot and people liked her. She's an awful. She fucking ruined Terminator Genesis. She fucking ruins anything. She's not a good actress. Like,
okay, Terminator Genesis. Terminator should have fucking ended after the second movie. I'm gonna stop right there. Like, there should be no more fucking Terminator movies and everything.
No, but she was awful. She was awful in a movie that was already awful.
Just because, I'm just saying, like, she was awful in that because it was not her fault.
I never saw that movie, but I watched Dark Fate like within the last 2 months, maybe, or something like that, and it wasn't great, but it was okay. It was an
okay movie. It just pissed people off because
seriously, like Terminator 2 was like one of the most perfect sequels ever made.
I really enjoyed like the thing about Dark Fate because I was like, I've watched the first two, I've seen the third one, which was just fucking the scene where she magically was able to control cars that didn't have. Like, the cars had electric steering and stuff. Yeah, but no, a lot of these cars she's driving, they don't have electric steering. You can't. That's not how that works in old vehicles like that.
Or like a satellite chip. Like but
then I watched was it Salvation, the Christian Bale one, which was again not bad, like the whole future thing, and then the way that they like made the Terminators, like, because you can't just have the same Terminator every time. Like, the first one had the basic original T-100, whatever, and then the next one,
in the movie, they have the same Terminator fucking time.
True, but every time, like the second one, they still had him as that, but they had the new liquid metal one. The third one still had him as that. Had the new weird fucking. I can't even like she wasn't liquid metal, but she could like make her stuff into weapons. It was weird. And then the Salvation. The guy was a Terminator that didn't know he was a Terminator. Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, because he lent his body for science because he like killed the guy.
And then so I never saw Genesis, but then the newer one,
Genesis is not great.
The newer one, the way that the fact that it had like kind of like a supercharged T-100 with like a T-1000 over it, and it was like two Terminators in one. I thought that was actually really cool the way that was done.
Well, that was not that different from the Christina Loken role in Terminator 3, where she's like an exoskeleton with an outside like liquid metal Terminator. It wasn't that different.
Is that what it was in the third one?
Pretty much. Well, the whatchamacallit Dark Fate one, they said it could be two, while the Terminatrix couldn't be two.
You couldn't do that in Terminator 3.
I didn't like the
deep dive in Terminator.
I didn't like the
dive.
Fuck.
Actually, Sexton looks like a mushroom with his glasses.
What didn't you like, Radar? What are you trying to say here?
All right, I'm gonna take this offline. I know it's
cheers,
I'm going to bed soon, so good night.